Trump, sir, it's good to see you.
Hey, Rob, thank you for having me. I appreciate being here.
Of course, no problem. So let's start off with the rent moratorium. The Democrats are at least saying out loud that they're upset that this is ending. What do you make of this situation? What are the politics here?
I think it's pretty entertaining to watch right now. The Dems are in complete disarray. I mean, the squad's blaming Pelosi. Pelosi's blaming the Senate. The Senate's blaming the administration. The administration's blaming the Supreme Court and demanding that Congress take action on it. It's just crazy. I mean, they're turning around and Pelosi's trying to blame the Republicans, too. She could not muster enough people in her own party to pass this. They've got the votes to pass it. They have the majority in both the House and the Senate. They've got no one to blame but themselves. It's entertaining to watch, I'll say at the least.
Yeah, I mean, I have to think in some way they're learning that you just can't create this entitlement nation forever. At some point, you got to give people a motivate. You got to kick them in the butt and say, come on. You know, it's been 16, 17 months. You got to get back to work. We got to stop doing this. I want to ask you about that NIH comment from the director. Mask up, even if it's just to save a few lives, which, of course, sounds very good and everything. But how realistic is it? I guess we're just going to mask up forever. If that's the mentality, then we should be masking up every single winter when any viruses float around in general. We should all have a mask on forever.
Right, especially since this particular virus right now, if you're immunized, has less mortality than the common cold or the seasonal flu does. And we're masking up. We're not masking up to keep people safe anymore, Rob. Make no mistake about it. They want us to mask up until they get the next election under their belt. This masking is an effort to create fear again and to spin the virus up because they need an excuse for unsolicited mail-in ballots one more time. They've got to make this happen one more time to put the final death blow and to put their Marxist, socialist, communist policies in full play. So this is about the election. This is being done for political reasons.
Well, you could be right. I mean, they obviously don't have the numbers to get a lot of the real bold agenda done. I mean, when you only got 50 in the Senate and you only got a few extra in the House, you have to deal with some of these annoying moderates like Sinema and Manchin,
Rob,
of course.
You know, they need this to be in place even for the primary elections because they have some Democrats that are super vulnerable right now. So they're going to need to make sure that they have control of the primary elections so that other Democrats that don't buy into this garbage don't primary the ones that are currently in Congress.
Interesting. That's actually a really good point. I want to talk about the mask mandates here. Here's Dr. Michael Osterholm on CNN today.
We know today that many of the face cloth coverings that people wear are not very effective in reducing any of the virus movement in or out. Either you're breathing out or you're breathing in. And in fact, if you're in the upper Midwest right now, anybody who's wearing their face cloth covering can tell you they can smell all the smoke that we're still getting. We need to talk about better masking. We need to talk about N95 respirators.
Well, he's saying exactly what was in that Fauci email that Fauci put out like a year ago, which is that, most of these masks, it's pretty much theater unless you got the doctor's mask, which nobody has. I mean, I walk around this city and every single person's got the stupid same blue mask that I've got on, which is doing, frankly, nothing. So what's the deal?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, those masks are effective, those surgical masks for bacterial infections and things of that nature. But we know that they don't stop viral particles. You need an N95 mask to do that. And, that's not what everybody's pushing out because it's not really the mask. The masks don't do anything. It's the image that the masks create. And once again, like I said, the fear and the concern that they create and the end result that this achieves for them politically.
Understood, yeah. Want to get to a bombshell report you and your colleagues on the Republican side of the Foreign Affairs Committee released. It says that a preponderance of evidence proves the virus that caused COVID-19 was leaked from the Wuhan lab. First, just what leads you to that conclusion, and just how insane is it that we had all of the biggest people, most powerful, influential people in this country saying that this was a conspiracy theory all along, and it looks like it was the truth?
Well, you know what? There's some people that are going to have some explaining to do, and Peter Daszak and Anthony Fauci are two chief among them. And part of the reason that people are saying that Peter Daszak was going out and saying this should be investigated for conspiracy theories and for inciting fear. And this man, it turns out, had a key role in what was going on there with this gain-of-function testing. It was funded by NIH and by Dr. Fauci. So we're going to work hard Michael McCall, who's the ranking member on Foreign Affairs, and I'm on Foreign Affairs as well, is not going to give up on this. We are going to stay on this. We are going to find out what's going on. And if we don't find out before we take over Congress in 2022, I guarantee you we are going to find out at some point. And these people are going to answer these questions, and they are going to tell us what happened. But they were responsible, and it did come from the Wuhan lab, and it looks like we funded part of it.
It really is. It's just, it explains so much. It explains so much about the behavior of certain people as this thing got underway. It really is very interesting. Texas Congressman Ronny Jackson. So thank